Hello. I hope we're good. I hope it's all good to go. I'm so sorry for the technical issues, guys. I started off doing the live and then the reception was so I hope you guys are doing super well. I hope you are feeling amazing. I am so grateful to have you to answer any questions that you guys have on anything, like anything from, you know, manifestation, law of attraction, all of the things. And it's really just a space where I hope that you can kind of grow and evolve and feel amazing. And that's really what the intention of this space is to make you feel great. So today's video, I'm actually switching up the uploading schedule. It's going to be starting on every day, starting today, 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. I found a lot of you guys are actually online around that time. So our usual everyday daily videos, sit down videos and tips and whatnot will be at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. I just want to let you guys know that because I know a lot of you guys were asking me questions saying, hey, Shika, like, when do you upload? So it's 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, and then I do the lives here at 1 o'clock. So it's really good. I usually do the lives between 1 to 2 o'clock. So we are starting a little bit later, but that is completely fine. I want to try and see if we can also go live on TikTok, just because I know on Instagram it's been weird, but it does take away any of the attention here. I will remove it completely. So anyways, I am so excited. Today's intention of meditation and what I want to bring to you guys is talking about prosperity, talking about manifestation and money. I know right now that is one of the biggest goals for a lot of you at this time is how can I be more feeling confident in bringing money into your life, feeling confident in all the things that you can do in money, a little bit of tips along with great connection with the video that's going to be happening and everything from who we are to our surroundings. Everything is energy. Everything that we have is energy. Everything that we do is energy. And the reason why it's so important to understand that everything is energy is because the more that we understand that with energy, it flows into our life, it flows outside of our life, and balancing the two, the more we're going to be able to be abundant. And abundance can be different things for many people. Abundance for you could be money. Abundance for you can be traveling. Abundance for you can be spending more time with your family and your loved ones. Abundance can be being able to feel like your mental health is the first priority and taking care of your wellness. Whatever abundance means to you, it's really just making sure that you are feeling at whole and at peace. And that comes down to eternal abundance. Title is as conscious souls. It's a lot more than that. So I just really want you guys to meditate through that along the side of our whole discussion today on what money means, how to manifest money, and prosperity. Because at the end of the day, with anything that we want in life, it doesn't come just overnight. It comes in a process of flows, right? I'm currently reading this amazing book, and I can't wait to share so much insight from you from a conscious perspective. And it's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I'm sure you guys have heard of this before. It's a really good book, but I really want to bring this intention of like understanding what it means as being someone who is working towards their higher self. And the reason why I want to bring this up is because I've been making one of my intentions is to learn more about flowing of money, to understand what that means to us as a society, what that means to me, and what that means to just energy and energetically, and how do I define money as a whole. So the reason why I really want to focus on that is because we talk about one concept, and I'll go deeper into it in today's video at 2:30, but it's talking about how we all in society, they kind of have the systematic things that are placed in order for us to chase after things we want, as opposed to actually getting those things, right? So ask yourself, what are some things that you have chased after? And there were so many great prompt questions that were given and asked during this time that I felt were so strong. And one of them that I really loved was asking, what is your definition of money? Like, when you think of money, are you just doing it to pay your bills? Are you doing it to go travel? Are you doing it for a nice, flashy car? The deep reasoning, the deep-rooted reasoning as to why we're putting that money out there. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you are manifesting money, what money means to you, and why it's so important to you, because that's really going to express just more of how it flows, right? So, for example, I'll give you guys an intention here. Years ago, after going to university, the main intention was to go to work and to get a good job and get paid a good amount of money, right? And that is something that we all have. However, is that something, a pleasure that we are put onto us, that is, taught to us from our family and whatnot, from a space of fear? A lot about what we need to release based on what we learned in our life and what we need to let go. So I really want to ask you, like, when you think of money, do you think of scarcity? When you think of money, do you think of abundance? When you think about money, what emotion comes into that? And remember that with law of attraction, things are thoughts. Thoughts with energy become things. So if I'm thinking on a daily basis about, the car that I want because I just like the car for myself, it has nothing to do, and it could be anything, whatever type of car it is for you, but why you want that car in your life, and explaining it to source for you, not for the external outlets of what you see. And that comes with visualization. A lot of people, when they visualize for manifestation, we focus a lot on visualizing us having a lot of money and spending it and all of those things. But that flow of money going to those energetic places, really bringing it back to us and allowing us to become a circuit to why you're doing it, not for everyone else, for you. Are you connecting it for you? Right? And the reason why I want to ask you this is because this is an intention that so many people do not see. But us as conscious beings, we are seeing this, right? We are understanding that. So this morning, as I sipped my water and I thought about this book, and I thought, what am I going to share with you during this live? And the one thing I understood is fear and greed. These are the two emotions that our ego self tends to bring us to when we think of money. And if you've ever felt that way, just think about it and close your eyes for a moment. Was there ever a moment that you had an emotion of desperation, that you had an emotion of fear? Fear of not being able to pay something, fear of not being able to do something because you didn't have money? Have you ever had greed? Wanting money not because of what energetically that money would give you in exchange, but wanting money because it would fill in a void. Perhaps going and eat junk food because, you have that money there and you want to buy it every single day, but going through this cycle of feeling bad still, right? And that's why I tell you all the time, it is so important to do the inner work. It is so important. The reason why it's important to meditate, the reason why it is important for us to script, to put intentions, to manifest, to understand law of attraction, is because it really tells us a lot more about us and our emotional state. The one thing that they talked about that really allowed me to really grasp the understanding of manifesting prosperity is this: 80% of this is our subconscious. 80% of this that controls us and that allows us to react to certain situations are not the things that we're thinking right now, but the things that are cycling through our head. So when we ask source, when we ask universe, I want to manifest money, I want money in my life, I really want you to ask yourself, what do I want in exchange for that money? What stuff internally within here, within your heart space, within your ideas of what your dreams are and your third eye, within your body, your intuition, your gut, why do you want that money? Once you know that and you understand the attributes that money will bring you and the good things that you see for money, you start to script. You start to write out why you need that. Why is it so amazing that this money is in your life right now in the present tense? It's already yours. It just has to meet at this time. And I think that is so crucial. So I'd love to hear, like, what are your thoughts on money? I got a lot of questions from you guys on what money is. And I think I might even go on my phone to answer a couple of them, because there were a lot on there. And I was thinking, I'm like, oh, there's so many good questions. This should definitely be something we discuss today. And it just matched that today was the day that I meditated through reading that book and felt here it was a sense to talk about this and for us to kind of expand as a collective. So some comments I got here was loading through, because it truly allows us as a collective to learn from one another. You know, every single day that we expand and stuff, it allows us to learn. It allows us to grow, you know, every time. You're not comparing your manifestation to someone else. And when you come from an emotion of greed, when you come from an emotion of fear, from comparison and self-judgment or external judgment. And that's just something to consider. So one of the things that I think a lot of you guys were asking is, how do I receive the money? So I talked a little bit about this, I think in a couple of videos, but how do I receive money? Like, how do I bring it into my life? What's this idea of manifestation? Receiving money is when you know you already have the money in that account. You already have that money in your life. The moment that, you know, I get some comments or, you know, questions on, Shika, like, I don't know if this money's coming, I'm really scared. You're creating fear, right? And that's why there's two different types of beings in this dimension. There are the ones that go around everything that isn't working towards us and likes to have a regiment. You know what I mean? Like, keep it the same way all the time. And society's built to have the perception of reward to those who do that. Then there are the other people that are not fearful, that just live life and allow their brain to be challenged in every day by being in the consciousness, my earring, by being in the consciousness and being aware of where we're at, right? So which person are you? And if you are the first person, this is an opportunity for you to deep dive in those aspects, to deep dive into why you are going through that right now. I just need to like breathe at that point because there's just so much in that. Understand the first moment that you had with money, that you were rewarded money when you were a young child. Mine was actually doing things around the house, and that was considered a way for me to work. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was something that taught me that, you know, putting energy around the house and putting energy to what I was doing and helping out created this karma for me to come back with money and to be rewarded. And the universe would do that. And it's funny how, if you think about it, things always work out. You know, things always work out. You're not shaking your head saying, no, it's perception. We're challenged through the law of manifestation, through the law of attraction, to always be challenged. You know, that's what makes our life. You know, one of the biggest things I always tell people is we as souls are having a human experience in order for us to understand the different emotions and how we are able to grow and evolve our higher self. So when we think about money, the two emotions that are mainly, you know, controlling our perception and ability to attract money and to manifest money is greed and fear. So if we're able to understand more based on our past experiences, our past lives, our experiences of this life, the things we were taught as a child and certain ages of our life, breaking that all down and understanding, okay, where does that let go? Like, where do we have to let go, right? Where do we have to release? Peace and love to you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, where do we have to release? Where do we have to let go? You know, this is so important. When I was a kid, I remember going to the grocery store. And even though I didn't understand the concept of money fully, I did emotionally. And that's what really tells you that when we come into this world, we actually have so much emotional intelligence that we as humans don't learn to create and to practice on an everyday basis because we are taught to have a regiment masculine structure, right? So I remember things were tough at the time, and going in my little change bag and giving it to my mom, trying to help her with groceries. Because I understood that if money at a young age, you need it for groceries, you need it for things, you need it to survive, right? And everyone's childhood is going to be different. For some people, they probably never had to think about it. For others, maybe money was always a discussion. So when you take that taught lesson that we see in our environment and you bring it onto an adult, it's going to affect our comfortability of talking about money, such as affirmations, such as claiming our money of how much we want in our life and saying that it exists. So I always coach all my mentees that are interested in growing with abundance. I always tell them the number one thing that you need to look into is, what is my relationship with money? Once you can heal that, then you can manifest, then you can flow, then you're an open channel to money. You're an open channel to source, right? But if you have blocks of not being worthy of money, if you have blocks that people said that you couldn't have money because of X, Y, Z, if you have blocks that you didn't speak up for the money that you deserve, being underpaid and not speaking up and letting those emotions by releasing and letting go, or just sitting there and taking it in and being a body pain to society. If you decide to let your dreams stay here in your third eye, but not actually allow them to turn into things, tangible things, creating that script into a thing within your life and taking it, owning it, knowing it's yours. If money to you was never something that was secure, you always knew that it was quite frugal and it was a lack of, or you spoke of that and your family used those words, those low vibrational words, then your root, your security is going to be an issue, right? If money was considered something that you would have to go to school for, and you needed to get a PhD or a master's, which, i.e., that was something that was very important in our family and was taught to us at a young age, then your creative energy will not allow you to flow energy that comes with your sacred chakra, your sacred space. If you see yourself chasing after money out of desperation to fulfill that Cadillac, to fulfill that 2 homes, to fulfill that big house with 12 bedrooms, then that is your solar plexus. That is you having a conflict of understanding what money is, how people perceive you in money from an external standpoint, right? How your self-worth is attached to money, and how to detach it is the next healing step, right? One of the biggest things that I learned from this specific book that you will learn when I share the video at 2:30 is that people of abundance, people who hold that abundance and know that money is flowing to them energetically and can manifest money so easily, are those who believe in it and those who actually are not living life for money. I want you to let that sink for a bit. Those who are abundant, those who are wealthy, do not live for money. And that's why they are abundant and prosperous. Think about all the people who have made history in today's world, or even when their lifetime is not here with us right now, but their soul remains. Their stamp within the space remains. If you can choose to allow passion to drive you through the attributes of why you want that money, you will always be prosperous. You will always be prosperous. And you will notice that universe will make things end or make things come to your life repeatedly because they want you to listen to that instinct. They want you to listen to what your gut is saying. And we ignore it so many times. Here's a little manifestation story for you. I remember I was going into university and I wanted to be a CEO of a business. I didn't know what business, but I just wanted to have that title, I was not good at math. I failed calculus. I failed a whole bunch of other math courses, but I ended up taking it for a whole summer just for me to get a minimum of a B- to get accepted to a university. I got into the school, and within a whole year of being in that school, I was struggling because I was chasing after being a CEO title. Was I happy? No. I didn't like math. I didn't like all these aspects of it. And I thought that in my head, society was telling me if you wanted to be a business owner, if you wanted to be what you needed to do, you had to go to school and take a degree in business, specifically business. So I spent a whole year and a half of learning. And in doing that, I found out that the same degree that I actually applied for in my first few years, I came back to it. I applied for a communications honors degree. I have it now. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But what prevented me from accepting that one when my gut told me go for it was because I had all of the judgments of what I thought money was. My solar plexus was blocked. My self-worth was determined on my title, not what money gave me energetically. But at the end of the day, universe gives you a wake-up call. When universe starts to make you fail courses, when you start to struggle in things, you have nothing but to start from the beginning again. And then you relearn, and you choose to do two things. You relearn the same habits, or you relearn something new. And that's what I really want to ask you guys through that story is, are you going to learn about the prosperity and learn about money and deep dive into, all parts of you in order to learn why you see money that way, how you can expand your vibration to allow money to flow to you and not run away from the problem, right? And not to be defined by certain things that have happened in your life, right? Just want to take a deep breath in here and just kind of take that all in, because I really want you guys to understand why I'm pushing this so much, because I feel the collective is, a lot of you are wanting to attract money into your life. A lot of you are wanting to manifest money into your life, and or prosperity or whatever may have you. And those things are attached to other things. And I did a TikTok video today of 3 parts. If you go see it, you will understand a little bit more with this perspective of our conversation in mind. But I talk about attributes. I talk about it quite a bit. And I said, why is manifestation, when you are manifesting, why is attributes so important? Why is it better to talk about what you want in someone instead of a specific name of someone? Why is it better to start off with manifesting with the things first? Because as humans, we evolve. And what I thought about is, on a day-to-day basis, I might be great today. I might be not great tomorrow. I might learn things day by day, and I might change my habits and my personality. Yes, there's the bulk of me, but it changes, right? So that's why I always tell people, if you're ever manifesting anything, it really resonates with our past connections of other things in our life, relationships, specific people, money. So if you had an interesting relationship with money at the beginning, how can you grow and expand on that? How can I evolve from that? So focus on what money means to you from an internal standpoint, how you want money to come into your life, how do you want it to flow into your life, what attributes do you want that's going to fulfill your happiness, not pleasures that are just going to fulfill the things that are struggling, the things that are not going well in your life. That's not what we're focusing on here. I tell people this all the time, and I know it's practice. I know I've been doing this for many years, but I just felt like the screaming feeling this morning meditating, saying, tell conscious souls, tell them this is what they need to know. The moment that we are able to wake up and see our own stance of where we are on our healing process, the moment that we're understanding a little bit more on our abilities and what we can do now and how we can grow and learn and continuously be students to our conscious and our higher self, the better we'll be able to expand. I just really want that to sink in. The longer that we're able to become students of our own conscious self, remember, our soul has been here multiple of times in different forms. Our body right now is going through the experience of a soul in different stories. And that's what allows us to evolve over time and have different karmic reasons or karmic missions every single time. So understand that the healing process of every element, whether that's relationships, money, security, forgiveness, love, all these main emotions that are lied within our chakra and our bodies is so important. And sometimes, even before, we have to kind of highlight and see, okay, what do I need to work on? And you'll notice that your body will just have certain emotions that are just innately there. And that is your soul and your higher self speaking. So tap into that power. And when you can tap into that power, that can allow you to be prosperous. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is, what is prosperity? And this is defined different for each person. You guys can share it in the comments if you'd like. I'd love to hear. But what's prosperity to you? Prosperity for me is being able to travel, see the world, and meet different people's stories while being here and spending as much time with my family and friends as possible. It's being able to learn something new from every single being that I come across from. It's being able to be in the state of being. That is my definition. Now, you notice how a lot of the stuff and the attributes that I spoke about was a lot about my state of being. It's about me within me, right? When people explain, I want to have a whatever car, or I want to have a big house, they never explain why. And I notice in the comments, sometimes you guys will mention, I want to manifest this. One way to take it a little bit further is asking yourself, what are the attributes attached to that thing, to that person, to that relationship, to that mind, right? What are the attributes that you stick with? And that comes with practice. If you asked me years ago to say, hey, Shika, what do you want to bring into your life? I would have said 2 cars, 2 houses, being able to just get up and leave and all these things, right? But that, to me, doesn't define it, right? That doesn't bring in that seal. Yes, you get all the cars, and then what? As humans, we always look for the next thing, and that's what conscious souls are all about. It's tapping into understanding. Stop searching for things that are already here. Look inwards. Do that. Juliet just said, that is exactly my definition too. Woo, that's awesome. Yes, that means you are with your higher self. If you're sitting here saying that all of the things you're listing mentally or on paper right now is within you, and it's similar to the attributes that are coming inwards, not outwards, which is why a lot of people right now, with everything going on in the world, are having a very heavy time. For those that are continuously having a heavy time, it's because they haven't had time to look inside themselves for this long ever in their lifetime. They always had to go to school. There was always work. There was always kids. There was always something else to keep their mind busy. And for the first time, when you were told to sit down and know, what do you actually want? You have time to focus on that. This is so different to us. It's like, what is this, right? And I think that is the part. It's like focusing on what's in here. What's abundant in here, and also understanding that with prosperity and abundance, that you're always abundant. The more you become conscious, the more you notice, I am always abundant. I have a laptop to live people on here, and you conscious, amazing souls. I have a mic so you can hear me. I have a home and a roof over my head where people don't have, right? There are a lot of things that we have that we take for granted. And it's not until the time where that thing is gone, where we understand that we are actually so blessed. We are actually have so many gifts that the universe gives us every time. From the air Mother Earth gives us, to the ability to, travel, crazy things that us as humans, as beings, have been able to create. Juliet just says, travel the world with my daughter, visit family and meet new people. I love that. Yes, I love that. Anyone who wants to share, what is that to you? What is abundance to you? What is prosperity to you? Please share in the comments. You are getting that much closer to your manifestation for you by sharing it. You're helping yourself understand where you're going, because you can think about it as much as you want in your head. But if you don't write it down, if you don't see it, if you don't make it, if you don't create it, because we are the pure potentiality creators of our life, everything that we do, by writing it down and seeing it down there and saying, yes, I confirm it. I'm creating a contract to my soul self that this is what I want in a present tense. I'm grateful for it on a daily basis, and living in that energy. You will even notice that people, my hair is again, You will even notice that people around you will just be attracted to you. Sometimes I go to a store and all of a sudden the energy that I feel, someone will just come up to me and ask me a question. There's all these other people, but they're gravitated with me and they have this nice lightness to them. Sometimes people will come up to me and start telling me their problems and I've never met them before. Imagine if each and every single one of us were able to stay fully in our truth at all times. Judgment would not exist. Greed would no longer exist. All these emotions of fear and whatnot will be diminished. Think about when you meditate at the end of a meditation, when you're manifesting and you're visualizing of what abundance means to you, what money means to you, everything that you are claiming that is yours. How do you feel after? You feel on top of the world. You feel amazing. You're like, oh my gosh, I can literally take everything. I can do anything that I possibly want because it's right there. I've created it. Now, what changes after about an hour or two later? For most of us, we get out of that mentality. We start to think about all the things we have to do. We start to think about all the things that we haven't done. We start to compare ourselves from other people's successes. We start to think about, starting to solely put our imagination and our energy to our bills. When we can automatically just say, no, it's there. It's there. It's there for us. I'm staying positive. I'm being optimistic. Life is all about the mind. Life is always about the mind. And that's why I love teaching about consciousness and I love teaching about manifestation and law of attraction, because the more you know about your mind, the more you know about what's going on in here, the more that you're able to challenge what's going on in here, the more that you will develop so much. That's something that I'm really learning from everything that I've read and everything that I've learned from people, some amazing people out there. And it's what I learned from you guys as well and your successes, right? So I just think that's so important. I think it's so crucial to think about that. So if you guys have any questions or anything about manifestation, prosperity, or any things that you'd like to share, maybe things that are downloading for you, please share in the comments. This is a space for you to expand and just really soul tribes, to have your soul tribe to make you feel amazing. And remember that allow money to be your energy. Flow through it. Understand what it means to you. What does prosperity mean to you? Define it. It's not what you have. It's what you create that makes you fulfilled. And that's internal. That's never external. And at this time, this is the best time to teach this, because at this time, a lot of people are looking for things or feeling unfulfilled, right? So that's so important. How do you keep the same energy after? 2 things I do, which is a great question, Juliet. Breathe. I breathe and I tell myself one of my mantras a day. So usually my mantra that I've been really fulfilled about is, love is all that matters and love is all that is there. Love is the only emotion that exists. I am divinely guided. Money flows to me. Money loves me. Whenever I have, issues, I have a few mantras that I want to tell you guys that if there are certain things that you're finding within doing your inner healing that is really hard for you, create a couple go-to affirmations where during the day, whenever a fear comes in, whenever any emotion that holds you out of that vibration, state that affirmation and breathe. The reason why I love that is because it has helped so much. The moment that thought, before that energy can seep into my subconscious, I'm stopping it. I'm saying, no, I love money. Money comes to me. The moment I start thinking about all of the stresses and stuff that I need to think about at this time, the pressures, the judgment, is the moment that I no longer have my power, right? So ask yourself, how can I continuously ensure that the power that I have in my visualization during my meditation to put it every single day? This would be actually a really great video. If you guys want to see that, let me know. But how do you stay in the same energy after meditation? How do you visualize that manifestation? Breathing, believing in it, and letting go any doubt that comes through. Not allowing the law of attraction, which is thoughts become things, when energetically there's energy that goes to it. So preventing that thought from even being implemented in your subconscious, right? The longer we avoid our issues of our internal growth, the harder it is for us to heal ourselves. So we want to push that out first. We want to let it go. We want to release it completely. Yes, mantras. I'm so with you. Mantras out as well. I'm actually going to type that out because I think that would be a great question for you guys. and super helpful. But again, that is one of the things that has really helped me, is to live in existence of whatever I'm manifesting is energy with them. And the more that you can kill of all of your fears, of all of the things that no longer manifestation, how do you keep that same energy? Have a general reading. Yes, we're going to do a card reading now. Perfect timing. So yeah, I just want you guys to sit with it. The main thing of this, before we get into the reading, really reflect on all these things that I said. Even go back to this if you'd like. But just take it all in, because this is such an important story. And I've been seeing so many people, even in times like this, acting for the wrong reasons for manifestation and law of attraction and all the things. And we should be acting for the right reasons. We should be acting with intention. We should be acting consciously. And that is so important. So let's do our card reading. This is your first card reading with me. Basically, I do 2 cards. So I do my chakra cards, and I do my angel cards as well. Also, let me know how you guys enjoy that. Did any of this resonate with you? How did you feel with these words? That download that I felt was really called for me to share. Okay, so I've been told and asked about tarot cards. They're my first deck. I have them right there. I like to do them for massive readings. General readings, I like to do these ones. Spot on. That's awesome, Juliet. I like to do these ones just because they really allow us to get just like daily messages. They're very straightforward for anyone who's just starting readings. For those who've been doing readings for a while, it just helps with all types of souls. Like everyone connects with them. So we're going to just start off with our tapping into. I thought it was amazing. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. So what I want you guys to do is we're going to close our eyes. And as usual, I just want you to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just take deeper breaths than you've ever done all day. We're going to go in for 5 and out for 6, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Last one, a little bit deeper, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just allow yourself to flow with your natural breath, breathing, releasing any tension, releasing anything that you would like to release at this time. And we're going to call on Spirit, our angels, guides, Mother Earth, universe, to guide us through this amazing card reading, to let us know what you need to tell us, to give us the messages through the intention that each and every one of you want to ask. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Perfect. So we're going to I like to do angel cards first. Clarity cards kind of work better with the chakra next. So let's see what our guides have for us. Mother yourself. Okay, whoa. Ooh, everyone's energy is a little crazy bit today. Spirit is speaking, literally speaking. Okay. Okay, so we have a lot of ancestral cards here. So the first card we have is Star Mother. How are you mothering yourself? This card was out yesterday. I still feel like this is a very important thing because the new moon just passed. If you join the new moon's celebration we had here, I'm sure that you felt that as well, for sure. But how can we mother ourselves in our everyday life? How can we mother ourselves to understanding what we want, not what others want? And this can be also just your own personal wellness routine, but just also like your everyday life. How can you not overwork because you're at home? Doing an extra 2 hours doesn't seem like much, but then it's actually taking out so much energy from you. How can you make more time to get in, a yoga class or to do whatever is to you, whatever wellness means to you, and not push it on the back burner? A lot of the times we forget that in order for us as humans to function, we need to have the bare necessities, food, water, and a roof on our head, but most importantly also energetically. And most of the times a lot of people forget that without our energy we can't function. We cannot function as beings. So ask yourself during this time, how can I mother myself to get prepared for the new beginnings that I am creating in my life right now? We have this card here, which is a beautiful card, and this is a very strong card. I definitely felt it when I was pulling out the cards. Keepers of Earth. So you are not alone. Ancient ancestors are beside you. This is a very big time for a lot of us, especially considering the retrograde, solar eclipse, everything that's going on energetically. Our guides are with us. They're always with us. And a lot of you guys have been saying that since the beginning of June, you've noticed there's been a lot of angel numbers. There's been a lot of connections with your past grandparents and such. They're communicating with you for a reason. There is a big change going with our world, historically, energetically. And in doing that, they have stepped forward into this dimension in order to help us and understand how can we be a part of this world. How can we help this space? How can we be more conscious in our everyday life? How can we be comfortable asking them for help? They're right there with us at all times, and they're there for a reason. So know that you're never alone, and they're always keeping us safe at all times. The reason why they are also showing up is because there is a lot of ancestral chains being broken. There's a lot of healing happening at this time. Even though the new moon has passed, people are still feeling a little bit emotional at this time. We have to ask ourselves, how are we healing? How are we really letting go? How are we looking forward in the future by being in the state of now and making sure that we have the energy to do what we need to do for when our soul purpose knocks on our door? And it's coming soon. It's already happening for some of you. So how can we shift? Let's see what chakras come out. Guys, what cards should we know about? Destiny. Perfect with this. This is a neutral card. With our ancestors being in this space, we're going to learn about what our destiny, what are we meant to do in this world, in this lifetime. I want to read this one because it's such a beautiful one. Together we are stronger than alone. Take a risk. Dare to have your life the way you decide. Are you willing to make sacrifices to have what you desire? At this time, you already know what you want. Your intuition already knows. It's looking right at you. Now it's your choice to decide what you're going to do. And understand that you're never alone, both in the physical realm, but also in, the general realm, right? Yes, Nicole, we're doing a reading. In the general realm as well. Like, we're never always alone. We're always there. We just have to ask. And here, I love this card because you see here, it represents our shadow self and our light self here, our consciousness and our dark, the bad things that have happened to us and how that has related to us to this moment right now, our destiny to now. So ask yourself today, how can I step more into my destiny, my purpose, and reflect on that by asking your guides for support. We have these two cards pull out. Recovery. This really connects with mother yourself. How are we recovering our energy? How are we recovering our mental state? How are we recovering ourselves from everything that has happened in this lifetime and in the past as well? I want to read this one, just like the statement here, because again, we're having really powerful words here. So you guys have great energy bringing into your openness. So pain from our past unlocks the door to understanding. Once the key has been used to open the door, you will have a new way of living, one without keys. And where are you heading has no locks at all. So understanding that we are so open, we're able to create all of it. So everything from abundance, everything from what we want in our life. We are the full potential creators. And understand that the next journey doesn't have a key. It's all based on the destiny that is innately known, that you know from past lifetimes. That's why our ancestors have come here to support you. The pain that you have experienced in your past life, that your soul knows, the pain that you've experienced in this current life, There's a reason why. Right now you're recovering that energy, and that is why you need to mother yourself at this time. Impatience. This is our chakras, our communication. A lot of us are seeing things are moving and progressing, but in doing that, we're becoming impatient with what the results are. So we feel things are moving quickly, but we're just kind of waiting. You're kind of looking at the time as to when your manifestation is coming. You're looking at the time as to when things will go back to normal. But you need to understand that right now is a time to make it not normal, but to grow our world, to grow our consciousness. So this is why it's so important for us to stay at calm, to reflect on ourselves, to reflect on our energy, and not be impatient with the healing that we have to do for our ancestors as well as our future ancestors in our lifetime as well. We hold a lot of energy that is not only ours, but our line as a whole. And subconsciously, we need to allow ourselves to tap into that energy and really ask ourselves, how can I be more patient? How can I be more in the state and just be? Don't rush things in life. Allow it to be the journey that you see. It's like planting, right? As you start to see it sprout, you get excited. And as you see it grow into a beautiful tree, you get excited because you've been able to see it from since a seed into this beautiful tree that it grows into. Let it blossom. Let yourself wait for that time. I want to read this one for you guys because this is a beautiful one as well. If I don't take care of it, it will never happen. Now is not the time to make a rush decision. You want to manifest, a partner, an ex, a relationship, whatever it may be, a friendship, whatever it may have you. You want to manifest something into your life, but you're rushing so much on the goal or instead of an intention of a day-to-day basis that you're being impatient. So just be and keep doing what you're doing, but don't wait and look at the clock in order for it to come to your life. I think these are really great cards. I'm going to pull one more because I feel called to pull out one. Is the subconscious or conscious? Imbalance and found within us. It's our subconscious. So subconscious is what majority of our mind is, right? It's what we're not thinking of. Our consciousness is us speaking right now, right? And the purpose of subconscious and conscious is for us to understand what our subconscious thoughts are so we can be more conscious in now, how we can be more in the state of now, right? So that's super important. So being impatient is something that we are doing both mentally and subconsciously, and we need to make sure that we're balancing. Remember, there are so many parts of our state. There's not only just our physical state of being, there's our higher self, there's our mental self, there's our physical self, right? And there's our soul. So if they're all in balance at different points of our life and being tapped into the subconscious in different ways, it's not going to allow us to align energetically with what we want in our life, right? So that's my response to that. Our last card that our guides have for us, faith. This is a perfect card to end on. Believe. Believe in your intuition when your guides are there. If you are first connecting with your guides for the first time, or you're getting used to the spiritual connection of other dimensions, follow your guide. They're telling you something, listen. If you see those guide numbers or angel numbers or whatnot, follow your guide, follow your intuition. That is super important for you to understand and have full confidence and to trust in your destiny and what you need to do. And have faith that you slowing down and not being so impatient is going to allow you to recover, not only for yourself, but for all of your ancestors. So the point of today is to really just be a reminder to slow down, to know that you're always guided, to know that your angels and your guides are always there. And ask yourself, how can I be more motherly to myself? From my career, to my family, to my relationships, to my awakening that I'm currently experiencing, to the growth from my spiritual connections, to my manifestations, to what I'm attracting into my life, to the grief of letting go certain things currently in my life. How can I be more kind? I think that's a beautiful reading. Let me know in the comments, guys, what resonated to you. What came through for you, what you connected with, what card really just spoke to you and was like, yes, this is the message I needed to hear. I do feel like there's just so much growth happening. And in doing that, we need to remember to be patient to see the results. When we're putting all this energy in our manifestations, be patient is so important through the process. When we be impatient, we're pushing things and we might actually miss the opportunity that we need in our life. So keep that in mind. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. It was so nice talking about prosperity, talking about manifestation, talking about money, talking about law of attraction, and answering your questions that you have. Again, let me know in the comment section what video you'd like to see next, what discussion you'd like for your next live. I really do appreciate just our conversations that we get to talk about. Also, if you guys can give this video a thumbs up, it really truly helps a lot, as well as commenting what you want to see. That would be amazing. I do really truly appreciate it, and it helps a lot. And yeah, I'm just so grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful for having this time to have conversations and in-depth discussions that we need, you know? So I'm sending you so much love, so much light. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time. The next video that I'm going to be hosting is actually at 2:30 p.m. So you will see this video, the next video that we're talking about. And it's talking about how to manifest money every day, which is really interesting. So we're talking about the concept of how often do we have to manifest money? And that video is next. So you guys will see that on the channel. And yeah, I'll be premiering at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. So that's in 20 minutes. So I'll see you guys there. I'm sending you so much love, so much light, so much positivity. Remember to stay in within your true self and what you're meant to do, and to follow what's in here, not what's out there. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Love you all.